My name is Clara Towson, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
I am Francisca George, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Susan Leemans and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom. Yeah.
My name is Zainab Sammaz and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hey guys, my name is Sasha Vickery and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hi, my name is Lloyd Harris and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Jan Faria and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Yes.
Take one. Well done.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Paulini and I'm a friend of the show.
Wow, Jasmine, you got it in one time.
Ready? Play.
Hello, everybody. I can see that I am in small view, so I'll just go to slightly bigger view than just that. Or can I go that bit? That makes me a little bit bigger. Excellent. Welcome to what is a final? Well, certainly on paper, as we have John as the producer. And please do comment and chat if you're here. That'd be fantastic. And already start to see some icons popping up through. So we have today, which is on paper, the highest ranked 500 final, I think, of the year. As we have the world number 2 taking on the world number 3. So, which sounds as though they should be quite close. Sounds as though this could be a bit back and forth. Doesn't sound as though it could potentially be the case where we have one of the two players that has dominated the sport really over the last couple of years against somebody who is struggling to find any form. And of course, the person who has been dominating the sport for so long, or certainly for the last couple of years, is the man to my left, my right, your left, however you're looking at this. Jannik Sinner, who has been on an absolute tear. It feels as though this week hasn't really looked much troubled, barely dropping games, barely dropping sets. And of course, as it's been pointed out by John in the chat there, this is a repeat of the Australian Open final. These two played the exact same, played each other then. But back then, it was straight sets. It was 6-3, 7-6, 6-3, and in a pretty dominant performance where Zverev at the end, dictated that he was second best in everything barring his serve, and there were questions over whether his serve was actually any better than what Jannik was actually putting forward on that day. It is, though, a match in the past, and certainly indoors and late in the Australian Open and whatnot, where Zverev has matched Sinner, and you could think about all the different permutations of certainly going into next year, was certainly with this match where one of the big questions in tennis outside of where does the rivalry between Sinner and Alcaraz go is who's going to be that. Who could be that disruptor, at least certainly in the short term. Long term, don't know who's going to come down the line. But you would have said, last year, certainly with the final that he got to last year, the fact that he got to a final of the Australian Open at the beginning of the year, that maybe Zverev could be that person, could be that man that would be the disruptor that could, muscle in between those two by, maybe win those big titles, having those wins. And the head-to-head kind of shows it. Zverev were leading that head-to-head 4-3, but a lot of those wins came quite a while ago. Certainly when Jannik was a different player. Is Sinner gonna draw level today? I would certainly. I think anyone would favour that as an option. As you say, looking at the head-to-head, okay, barring the fact Sinner won their first ever contest back in 2020, that was the Roland Garros set in October. That weird one. Zverev won the first 4, shot to a 4-1 lead, but it's been Sinner over the last couple of years that has won all their meetings and really has only ever dropped one set in those 2 meetings. And one of those meetings was, of course, in the Australian Open, which is a best of 5 set match. So, it's certainly an interesting one. Are we going to see something from Zverev today, who could potentially make a claim to be that next best player, that person that can certainly Zverev being in the stage of his career, going to his 28th, 29th year on the planet, short term, is he going to be the one that's going to be that disruptor, and could he stake that claim today, as he is currently going to be serving first? And we'll go through it. hits down the tee. Sinner gets a return on it, but it is long. I mean, one of the things that Zverev has is that serve. It is an incredibly good serve, but Sinner has a decent serve as well, and is one of the best returners on the tour. And it's how those two will match up, and how well Zverev will return as well. Especially looking at yesterday with the way Sinner was able to really. So Sinner gave away a couple of service games to Alex de Minaur, who really hustled like crazy to get those two games, and actually did really well to at least make that somewhat of a contest. As we get the first double fault from Zverev, just going slightly long there, and there's a facet of Zverev's game for a number of years with the double fault, something that he has kind of packed up with at the moment. He hasn't really been had major lapses when it comes to his serve. So just got the score up on the box there. As we get a forehand into the net from Sinner, giving Zverev 30-15. Like I said, please do comment in the chat if you are here. That's fantastic. That'd be fantastic. We've not got long left of the tennis season, even though it feels as though it always, there's always some sort of tennis on happening at a later date. With, of course, the Paris Masters, which is qualifying has started today. That's going to be taking place next week. The last big event that involves the majority of the top 100. A couple of 250s, and then, of course, the Tour Finals. And then after the Tour Finals on the men's tour, then, of course, the Davis Cup. Hey, Sport and Politics, good to see you. Good to see you in the chat. As we see a wicked forehand there from Sinner. Just goes straight down the tee. Already 30 also. A little bit of pressure. Sinner is already exerting on Zverev, on the Zverev serve, and you've got to feel as though it has to be a strong day by Zverev on his service games if he is going to stand a chance against Sinner. You'd expect Sinner will know the dangers that Sasha poses to him, and he will want to. He will be playing a very high level game in this one here. But Zverev just goes out wide. Forehand by Sinner. Just lands in. But it gets the absolute razor edge. Sinner just about gets to it. Goes. Was that out? Was the Zverev forehand that long? It was long. And all of a sudden, opening service game of the match, Sinner has a break point. Sport staying for a little bit. Can't stay long. But what your thoughts today? What does Zverev need to do? High percentage first serves, got to get to a tie break and see. I suspect that if he was to win, there would be a tiebreaker or two involved. But you could favour Zverev maybe to get a break here, maybe pick up a break or two in the match. And he has already saved the first break point. Great serve down the tee. Sinner unable to get much control on it. 40 all. But just to sort of answer your question, Sport, I would certainly say that we are looking at certainly breaks at an absolute minimum, preferably for him only maybe one break, or being broken at least once in the match is probably the only way he's going to be able to get a win here, and even then that potentially could not be enough. He will have to have the serving performance of his life, but this is indoor conditions. It is still. And the tend to be, certainly when it comes to the hard courts, the best surface for Zverev. Two-time Tour Finals champion, winner of the Paris Masters last year, has won Vienna in the past, back in 2021. It's also interesting because these two players, both Zverev and Sinner, they are gunning to become a multiple champion here for the first time since 2016 when Andy Murray picked up his third title in Vienna. It's been a competition over the recent years that has had multitudes of different winners. If you look back, his most recent ones, 2019, it was Team that was able to win his home tournament here. After that, 2020, it was Rublev. 2021, it was Zverev. 2022, Medvedev. 2023, you then go on to Sinner, who that's the time he won this, and then last year won by Jack Draper, who unfortunately couldn't, because of his arm injury, hasn't been able to come to try and defend his title, which I'm sure he would have liked to have had a go at. But Sinner or Zverev will be able to then actually win his title on multiple occasions today. One of those two will be able to claim it. And as you see, we just created a poll. It's either below me or it's to the side of me about who do you think is going to win. Please do vote at the side there. Who can spring a surprise in Paris? That's a very good question. I mean, I was having a look at the draw. You could see a potential route maybe for somebody like a Felix. Is really good on indoor conditions. I know he pulled out of his quarterfinal in Basel on Friday, but you could imagine that may be precautionary because he could see an opportunity, and also he's got the added incentive, Felix, that he wants, of course, to get to Turin, and he's just over 400 points behind Musetti. And it does actually a bit look as that's a great serve by Sinner or great forehand up to up the line there, and just getting the mistake out as Zverev. At the moment, it's 30-love. I mean, Sinner's been pretty normal as we go here. But what was the same for Felix? I just saw a video where it looks like the ATP are promoting the fact that it looks as though Djokovic is going to be Djokovic's run to going to the ATP finals, or at least qualifying for it, suggests that they kind of expect that he is going to be playing the event. So it could be the top eight, that it will be the top eight that will be there. And Musetti's looking okay at the moment. Good run here, 200 points. If you can get a few more wins in Paris, he's then basically asking Felix to get to the final, or maybe even win the competition. But you wouldn't put it past Felix that he's in a good section of the draw. You could potentially get to the semi-final, finals could be a possibility for Felix. With who he's got to play. So that could be it. Interested. First round matches. Well, I think the funniest one is the fact that we've got Chapo versus Fonseca, repeat of the quarterfinals. We've got a bit of a rundown here. Interesting ones that I can spot out. Marajan Rindignesh, that could be a bit interesting. I'm going to, of course, keep my eye on Cameron Norrie Baez as a Norrie man, but also Muller, Nakashima, and the match that's going to be put on. First match on centre court tomorrow. It's a bit weird actually because we've got Grigor Dimitrov back after the pec injury that took place. Back from the pec injury that took place in Wimbledon. Going to be playing one tournament before the end of the season, which is the Paris Masters, but against Mapeshi Pericard, who took a massive drop down the rankings after losing to Fonseca in Basel last week. Not looking to defend the title. Talking tennis, you're saying Norrie or Baez plays Carlos in round of 32. They do indeed. The joys of actually having a 1 week 56 player draw is that you get great matches from the get go on day one. I suspect because of the fact that Sinner and Zverev are playing today and they're on the other half of the draw, and Carlos hasn't played last week, that the marquee round of 32 matches that they have in the night session on Tuesday will lead with Alcaraz versus the winner of Norrie or Baez. So it made sense for them to play their match early tomorrow for their first round to be ready to play their second round match tomorrow evening, which is when it will take place on that one there. But I mean, it was a shame that Mensik pulled out just because he was scheduled to play Francisco Cerundolo. You could imagine that being a tasty match along there, but it is currently, by the way, as we back to not to look too far in the future, because I know we've got a show that will be going on about that in a bit. But Zverev is in a bit of spot above. Love 30 down already. Sinner was in a very defensive, or at least back in the court position. Good serve from Zverev there, just to start getting his side of the scoreboard on his serve ticking over. 15-30. Oh, and there has been I'll go through that bit in a bit. Actually, I'll leave that for the time being. Zverev ball in the air, goes down the tee. Sinner just about gets a return on it. Backhand by Sinner, forehand by Zverev, cross court, an attempt to go up the line there from Sinner. Does go into the net though, so 30 all. It is F1 tonight, 8 o'clock UK time for the Mexican Grand Prix. Lando Norris looking in a very good position along with the Ferraris, with the title, with the leader of the championship, Oscar Piastri, back in 7th on the grid. It's going to be it could be a real big monumental swing towards Norris today if he is able to win the race and Piastri finishes well down. And of course, Man United 3 matches in a row. That guy, the United Strand, will maybe get his hair cut, maybe in a couple of weeks' time if things go according to plan. But it feels weird being a United fan and watching what was a really good performance yesterday, barring a few weird substitutions and the referee deciding that he wanted to try and make it interesting with silly decisions. Still can't believe it was on. It was the biggest bit of match fixing I think I've ever seen from a referee. Oh yeah, although he fell to the ground and the doggo was miles away from the actual player, we'll give it a free kick and make it dangerous. Oh, and it's also funny to laugh at Liverpool with the fact that they can't seem to win a match these days. Please do hit the like button. So currently 40-30 Zverev. He's kind of recovered a bit here. Goes down the tee, forehand by Sinner, forehand by Zverev, forehand by Sinner, goes wide. So interesting start certainly on the Zverev serve. 2 service games, twice he's had to face he's had to face break points. 1 break point on the first service game and 2 break points on the second. No break points here, sorry. But he's certainly been under pressure in both service games. Kind of the start that he'll expect, and it's certainly for him will be a case of just holding on as best he can at the start of this contest. He'll want, though, to see how he can then start performing on the Sinner service games, at least trying to get himself into them. It's been a very weird... Oh, what I was just saying, as we're at the break, if anyone's kept up to date with the qualifying happening in Paris, Vukic got a walkover over Opelka. Sebastian Korda beat Valentin Royer in 3 sets. Ethan Quinn beat Botic van der Zandschot in straights, and Francisco Comasana has just won via walkover after winning the first set 6-1 against David Goffin. And on court at the moment, you've got Alexander Kovacevic has won the first set against Demir Zuma, but is 3-love down in the second set. We've got just Jake Fernley versus Yannick Happmann. That's to take place on centre soon. Opelka done. Yeah, Opelka withdrew from the match before it started. Oh, in terms of his career. I don't think there's anything he's done in terms of his career. I mean, I know he would have hoped to have done more this year, 2026, I'll have to see how he goes. I mean, I kind of expected him to have at least had there to have been a 250 somewhere where he would have had a run to the final at least. His game's big enough where you'd expect him to get. He wasn't necessarily just a serve bot. Like, he had a half decent forehand as well at times before his injury. Opelka. It was what made him certainly slightly more dangerous than John Isner. At parts, great serve down the tee there from Sinner as he's just rocking through his service game at the moment. Love 30 already, not too much in terms of worry or concern. Fournier goes out wide, forehand by Zverev, cross court, just stands it behind him. Back behind from Sinner there was wonderful. So 40-love already. Jannik Sinner now has won 20 consecutive matches on indoor hard courts, raking them up. He certainly is just adding them up wherever he can. It is a surface that he loves and that he thrives on. And we got that 78% of you believe that Sinner will win the match, which I must admit is actually quite, it's what on the face of it, given the way both players' seasons have gone and whatnot, I would say that I'm surprised that Zverev does have 22%. But then you've got to ask the question, which is how are we in a situation where the world number 2 versus the world number 3 is as lopsided as that predicted scoreline actually is? As Zverev at the moment has managed to get on the scoreboard on the Sinner return games up to 15. Gets a good backhand return, backhand from Sinner, backhand up the line by Zverev, forehand by Sinner, up the line by Zverev, perfectly put away, and all of a sudden got himself here now to 40-30. Sport, you're saying that would love Dimitrov to win a match or two in Paris. Was it 2023 when he made the final, lost to Djokovic in straights? I believe it was 20. Yeah, it was 20. Hang on. Last year was Zverev, and I think the year before that was Sinner. Was it Sinner? Was it Sinner the year? No, not Sinner. Sorry. Who won in 2020? Oh, God. Oh, because Rune was 22, Djokovic was 23, Djokovic was also 20. Yeah. 24 was Zverev, 23 was Djokovic against Dimitrov. Yeah, you're correct there. Correct there, Sport. That is the correct order, because it was Djokovic winning it in 21 and 23, and he got to the final in 22 where he lost to Rune in that match. As we are at deuce on the Sinner service game, surprisingly, really uncharacteristic backhand mistake there from Jannik. Goes down the tee, backhands by Zverev, forehand by Sinner, backhand by Zverev, backhand by Sinner. Cross court backhand exchanges from both players. Both their backhands are strengths. But a short ball that Zverev runs onto, and all of a sudden he's got break point. He's really put the pressure on Sinner at the moment. Managed to get himself into a backhand exchange, in which Zverev is always going to look strong in the backhand exchange. He has one of the best backhands on tour. So does Sinner. But it is something that if Zverev can get it backhand to backhand, he will love. Okay, so break point chance. Goes cross court, backhand by Zverev. Backhand by Zverev. We're in a backhand exchange here. Sinner's just looking to try and get as aggressive as possible. Backhand by Zverev, though. He's sticking in here. Forehand by Zverev. Oh, but he moves it to the forehand, and the mistake comes. There goes the chance. Tim Henman won Vienna in 2000, beating Tommy Haas in the final. Who knew? Vienna, bizarrely, actually has been a bit of a hotbed of British success, as you say. Tim Henman's won this competition. Murray won it 3 times. Draper won it last year. The Brits do love Vienna. Backhand, forehand by Sinner, but that goes out. That's an uncharacteristic forehand mistake there. And also Greg Rosetsky. And Rosetsky as well. It's all the Brits have been winning in Vienna, beating a lot of Germans as well in the process by the looks of it. Murray beating Songa, Murray beating Ferrer before it's moved to a 500. Oh, tries to go out wide. Second serve. Real opportunity here for Zverev. Goes caught. Backhand by Zverev. Forehand by Sinner. Backhand by Zverev onto the line. And it's shanked long. And all of a sudden, Alexander Zverev 3-1 in the lead. Zverev has the break. And what was an incredibly strong return game, starting off the fact that Sinner was 40 love up on this service game. Zverev kept in it, got himself back to deuce, got himself a couple of break point chances on the advantages, and has broken him. Oh, wow, indeed, Sport. And now Zverev here serving to potentially go 4-1 up. The big thing is how much pressure can Sinner put on. Great serve by Zverev. Backhand to backhand exchange. Goes for the forehand cross court. Onto the line. Brilliant. I mean, this is excellent from Zverev at the moment. Great cross court forehand by Zverev. Up in the air by Zverev. Goes down the line. Forehand by Sinner. Short in the court. Cross court by Sinner. Zverev just about gets to it. Cross court again, though, by Zverev. He's just acting like the conductor at the back of the court. All clips off the tape. Points being neutralized. Backhand by Sinner. Backhand. Yeah, oh, what a backhand by Sinner. Straight down the line. Maybe those Zverev voters are smiling now. They certainly may be smiling now. We have what seems to be a bit of a contest on here, which is something we can't usually say for many matches that involve Sinner that doesn't have Alcaraz on the other side of the net. Okay, ball in here by Zverev. Goes down the tee, just bobbles off the top of the net. Second serve. Has my Twitter handle changed? It has yeah, it is now at James Steele TNS is the handle. So you may want to change that one. All right, I'll write it in the private thing. There we go. But Sinner, though, looking to stick in here, has got himself up on the Zverev service game, currently 15-30. It looks like another pressurized with service game for Zverev. He's not getting many free points. Okay, ball in the air. Goes cross court. It just goes slightly long. Okay, ball in the air, goes down the tee, forehand by Sinner, backhand by Zverev. Oh, drops really short. Sinner is all on top of this on the net, goes for the smash, and he has 3 break back points. The important thing they always say is that it's never a break until you consolidate. And at the moment, Sinner is certainly looking to get himself back on serve. We'll need a first serve here. Zverev has been lacking them in the service game. Goes cross court. Wonderful cross court. No chance anyone was going to be able to return. Going to get a return on that. Has retrieved 1 of the 2 break points. Now we're looking at the second one. Certainly an interesting split for the crowd here as well. I'll explain in a bit after this point. Ball, okay, so Zverev, ball in the air. Goes cross court, backhand by Sinner. Up the line by Zverev. Up the line top there, but goes cross court at the net. Zverev. It lands out with the attempt from Sinner, and the 2 break points have been saved. So that is now 3 break points that Sinner has not been able to take advantage of. And he would have certainly said in that rally, Sinner had the opportunities to at least be, okay, maybe not in the attack, but certainly at least in neutral. Okay, ball in the air by Zverev. Goes cross court again. Goes out wide again. Sinner does get something on it this time, but only into the net. So advantage Zverev. So a chance here for Zverev to claim his 4th game out of 5. And return serves. 72% of Zverev's serves. 72% of Zverev's serves have been unreturned. You would say though that the majority of the ones that have been returned have gone to Sinner. Oh, forehand just on the line there. Got a bit of a forehand exchange. Backhand by Sinner. Backhand by Zverev. Backhand by Sinner. Up the line there by Zverev. Zverev has just been pushed back here. You would say that Sinner is the main aggressor. Is going backhand exchange. Just about gets it back from Zverev. Goes for the chip. Gets it back up on the line. Pokes it down. Goes for the lob. And it's in. Somehow Sinner has lobbed the big man. Was able to lob the big man at that point there. Zverev was kind of stranded at the net for certainly the last 5 balls, you would have said, of that rally. And actually did quite well to stay such in control as he did, but probably was just a little bit too passive, certainly for that last one that he hit. Certainly maybe more aggression. Okay, ball in the air, goes down across court, backhand to backhand exchange, forehand exchange taking place, cross court, up the line by Zverev, backhand by Sinner, backhand by Zverev. Just each figuring themselves out as a baseline. Oh, but a poor backhand attempt by cross court by Sinner. Very much an unforced error there has given Zverev back the game point. Sport and Politics pointing out it was a great lob indeed. Apparently we can't post comments to some destinations, supposedly. Okay, Zverev here, second game point chance. He would love to go to the chair, 4-1 up. Ball in the air. Oh, no. Okay, ball in the air. Goes, attempt to go cross court, bounces off the net and goes wide. Second serve. Chance here for Sinner to stick in it. Bouncing the ball, goes in the air, goes into the middle of the court, just gets the point going. Great backhand, fantastic backhand from Zverev, right onto the line with vehement aggression. Sinner unable to get any control over the on his hit, and it goes long. And all of a sudden, Alexander Zverev, by hook and by crook, both of those two things you would certainly say with those games, is 4-1 in the lead. Set done. I wouldn't necessarily say set done just yet. I think Zverev would need to get a second break for it to be done. Mainly down to the fact that although the scoreline in terms of number of games that have been won looks very commanding, those games that Zverev has won have been real grind fest. A lot of them have gone to juice. He's had to really work at winning those 4 games. It's not as though he's had a few freebies. But I think Zverev knows that if he wants to win this match, Korda through in the main draw. Korda is into the main draw. Indeed, he beat Valentin Royer in 3 sets earlier on. And at the moment, Zuma looks as though he's 5-2 up in the second. Looking like he's going to go to a third set there. Burnley beaten Hafman today. I hope he beats Hafman today. I think it is a 50-50. We know that Jannik Hafman's coming out off some great form. With what he did in Paris, and I think he had a good run at a 250 as well last week. But thirdly, qualified for Vienna last week, played some really good tennis against Zverev in the first round, and he did incredibly well to beat Arnaldi, who could be very tricky in the first round in Paris. And I think Fernley's certainly starting to show that level. Botic to ever win a title, think that ship has sailed. I think he could still do it if he chooses tactically one of those tournaments which may have lower cuts when it comes to getting into, but then also for the seedings for those tournaments. You know, and there could be a 250 somewhere where it could get blown open, and Botic has the ability to potentially win one of those titles. I do think it's possible, but he's got a very small window to do it in. You'd say he'd have to get it done in the next year or so. Otherwise, it's probably too late. They have a forehand exchange, backhand by Zverev, forehand by Sinner, backhand by Zverev, backhand by Sinner, down the tee. Oh, it's just baseline bashing at its best by both these two players, forehands and backhands. Oh, and Sinner goes for the cop out there, tries to go for the drop shot. Ooh. Bit hobbling at the minute, Jannik. Just having a look here. He's just hobbling just a tad after that one, because he really bailed out of that rally by going for an attempted drop shot from well behind the baseline. Didn't even barely hit the net. Tries to go out wide, Sinner, no luck. Ball in the air, backhand exchange. I think Johnson's gone out of internet connection for a bit. And it's a forehand into the net there from Sinner. He does not look good. He does not look good. Just got a little bit of sound on. If you can hear it in the background, please do. I do apologise on that one. I'm just trying to hear out for anything. Ball in the air, backhand goes for the drop shot. He really is trying to keep these points short, Sinner. It works that time. He draws Zverev forward, able to then get the winner point onwards. So next point. Goes for the drop shot again. He is bailing out on all these points. Oh, drop shot back, and that goes wide, and it is 2 break points for Zverev here to go a double break up. Sinner is in real trouble. If Zverev gets this set is over. And it is remarkable now just how much Sinner is just not prepared to rally at the back of the court with Sasha. He is bailing out whenever he can, trying to at least drop shot, bring the forwards, shorten the points. Ball in the air, goes slightly long. It looked as though he was about to charge the net there, but Sinner as well. Okay, Sinner, ball in the air, goes backhand by Zverev or into the net. Wasted opportunity. Certainly a bit of a wasted opportunity there. Second break point chance here for Zverev. Second break point chance. Or no, he's reset himself. Something happened in the crowd. Cross court. Sasha just about gets something onto it, but it goes into the middle of the tram lines. That's 2 break points saved. Remember Botic final versus Runa, maybe 23. That was that was the 20. Was that the 23 or was that the 22 final where he had all those match points? Yeah, I remember that one though, because then he played Botic the year later, but actually won, but Runa won more comfortably. Flying up the line by Sinner. Zverev just about gets something onto it partly. Up to add for Sinner. And Sinner is able to hold. Sinner is able to hold. And now Sasha has the balls at his end of the court. And he's saying, over. And Sasha's kind of, and it's like, over to you. Over to you. What can you do? What can you do? My laptop's just going a little bit funny there. So he was maybe a double break up to. Yeah, he was certainly. How's it looking in the race? It is currently 15 love to Zverev. It's 4-2. At the moment. Down the tee. Wayward forehand from Sinner. That makes it love 30. This is turning into. Oh, how's it looking in the race? Mazzetti in spot 8. So have we got the race? John put the race up. Oh, yeah, so John's put the race up on the board. I mean, at the moment, you'd be very surprised if those top 8 don't make it through. However, you could not look away from Auger Aliassime potentially maybe having a run. He is also, interestingly, not only is he down for Paris, he's also on the entry list at the moment for. He's on the entry list for Metz, which still counts for points towards Turin. Anybody else? You got Casper Ruud as an outside chance, but given his foot injury, and also he's also got a bit of a tricky potentially third round. Foki could be one if Foki wins his match in Basel later on. He opens up the possibility. But then again, it would then probably require Foki to need to then go on and win Paris to stand a chance. And that's pretty much where it stands. And Germany wouldn't look past Sinner and Alcaraz, given that they're both in the draws, to maybe get to do deep runs in Paris. You've got Zverev, who's the defending champion. Lots of good indoor players as well that are going to be playing. Oh, Sinner's getting 1 point back here at least. So I think that the only person who could upset the apple cart would be Felix. Felix is the only one who could potentially do it. It would require probably Mazzetti not having a good run, which I suspect Mazzetti will pick up at least a win or two in Paris. But you never know. If Felix has a run to the semis final, then goes to gets himself to Metz, you then probably expect that if Mazzetti wants to get to Turin, he's going to have to get himself to either Metz or Athens. There's a lot of them permutations which then start opening up. Yeah, Foki wins the title today. He goes to around about 2,700 points, which is still 1,000 off, or just under 1,000 off Mazzetti, who's at around about 3,600. Oh. So just like gets onto that. Zverev comes forward, goes cross court, puts it away, and we're now looking at Zverev being 5-2 up. 5-2 up. Any news on court speeds? Supposedly, well, we won't get any numbers until probably the first couple of days into the main draw of the tournament. But Alcaraz is saying it is playing slower than it has usually. Which may give you some indications of how things are going. What am I trying to find here? That one there. On that bit there. So can Sinner get back in this set? Or is Zverev going to be taking them? Only one match between these two before on indoor hard. And of course, that was at Cologne in the semi-final, but that was 2020, which feels like an age away in terms of when these two last played. Like it has been mainly, as you say, talking to us there, it's mainly been outdoor hard. Zuma has won the second set. Sinner is 15-0 up at the moment. And actually, Zuma at the moment has got a break point at the beginning of the third. Could be looking to make a bit of a run here, Zuma. Forehand onto the line there by Zverev. Just goes slightly long there from Zverev. So that means it is Sinner, 30 love up. Sinner seems to have recovered. It was looking a little bit dicey at one point there for Sinner. If he did get broken in that, and it would have gone 5-1, you would have said that Sinner was in a bit certainly in trouble. But just at the moment, Sinner's just keeping himself going well on his service games. Brilliant first serve down the middle there. Short ball was on the return from Zverev. So he's going well. He's going well. Sinner, if you're a Sinner fan, he's looking better. If that's enough to try and save this set is another matter. Fournier goes cross court, just goes slightly long, second serve. Oh, lost John a bit again. Great backhand there from Sinner, and that means it is 5-3. So he's asked the question to Zverev, can you serve out this set? Fournier goes down the tee, forehand by Sinner, cross court by Zverev. Sinner just about gets something onto it, but it is wild and it is wide, and it is 15 love to Zverev. You'd certainly imagine, given the way these two have played recently, that if this match was to remain competitive, it would be a requirement for him to win this set from Zverev's perspective. It's not so much of a disaster if Sinner doesn't win this set, as Zverev is just being pushed from pillar to post at this point here. Just goes slightly long there, 15 all. He just needs to watch himself a bit here, Zverev, if he wants to hold this out. But like I said, you would imagine that if it was Sinner that won this set, you could imagine it being a straight sets demolition of Zverev. If Zverev wins this set, that it's all to play for. You would still say Sinner, there is a strong possibility that Sinner could come back from this. As Zverev goes 30-15 up with a wondrous out-wide serve. As I said, it is more critical and more important for Zverev to win the set than it would be for Sinner to win it. Fournier by Zverev tries to go cross court, bounces off the net and goes wide. Second serve here. I mean, he's up, but it's not by much. Goes in the middle. Bit of an awkward bounce there, but cross court exchange, and that just goes slightly long from Zverev. A little bit, an unforced error on that account. An unforced error. So 30 all here. Not a great serve out wide by Zverev. That point, That serve on the juice side has really got him out of jail on a number of occasions. This set has such venomous whip to it that even the fastest player who's expecting it has trouble reaching it. Goes down the tee, forehand by Sinner, forehand by Zverev, but absolutely mishits it, and goes completely long of the baseline to juice here. Sinner is determined to hold on. Ball near by Zverev, goes cross. I mean, he's done it again. He's gone out wide on the juice side, and it has got him a 3 point. I mean, the bounce on that. I mean, it bounced so high it was almost over and above Sinner's head. And Sinner's a tall person, but it's here on the outside. Zverev needs something because he's given it great down the tee, short ball, backhand in the middle of the court, and there we go. The first set is in the books. It is Alexander Zverev taking it over Jannik Sinner 6-3, and the German will feel pretty good about himself there. Was able to take his chance when the chance came to him. At the sort of beginning, certainly the beginning to the midpoint of that first set, and was able to effectively hold from there. Yes, had more opportunities later in the match to potentially go a double breakup, didn't take them, and against Sinner that could be a dangerous combination, but he was good enough to be able to. It was good enough for him to be able to hold on and get himself that first set. So 6-3 to Zverev. Now, how Sinner and how Zverev respond and act in the next set will be the main thing. A bit funny there on that one. So yeah, it's an interesting combination at this point. Both players just changing the shirts, getting ready for the second set. Both not going off, which is good to see. Straight into the next set. The ball in the air by Sinner, goes cross court, forehand by Zverev. Just brilliant forehand up the line there by Sinner. It just died at the right moment as well. Cross court, well placed there by Sinner. Oh no, that was a let cord. Scratch that let cord. bit of a baff. We've got a baseline exchange here from both players. Oh, backhand exchanges from both of them. Or goes for the drop shot. Has too much slice on that one though there from Zverev, and that is 30 love. So good. So Sinner starting well at the beginning of this set here. Ball up, ball down. Zverev just about to get something onto it. Pokes it down. Oh, straight back to Sinner, but he still pokes it away anyway. And that means that we are 40 love. 40 love. Well, no, we're not. We're at 30-15 for whatever reason. Now we're at 40-15. I don't know what's happening anymore. What's happening? There we go. 40-15. We're at 40-15. Ball in the air, goes down the tee. Zverev just gets caught up a bit there. And that is Sinner 1 love. 1 love Sinner. Of course, in a bit's time, in terms of in half an hour's time, the Basel final kickoff, which has a bit more of an interesting sort of storyline amongst itself. Whilst you have this one here, which is mainly about a battle between two players. Battle between two players who are at the top of their game. Okay, ball in the air. Forehand to forehand exchange. Oh, but a weak forehand by Zverev into the net. Just keep getting shots of this girl in the audience who's been to a few Sinner matches recently. Great serve down the tee there by Zverev, making it 15-all. Zverev attempts to go down the tee, just goes into the net. Second serve. Curls in, curls round, into the net there by Sinner. 30-15 Zverev. Oh, definitely the scoreboard's updated yet. Oh, that just landed. That just landed long, didn't it? So I think we're now at 30-all. think we're now at 30 all. Hey Ashley, good to see you in the chat. Yeah, scoreboard says 30-30. On the ones, yeah, they've got rid of the scoreboard now because it wasn't working. But a real bit of pressure here for Zverev, looking to, after all the good work he's done at the beginning, in the first set, he doesn't want to necessarily give away this too easily, and there's already a break point chance. How is it going over the pond? Paul says 30-15. You're in Canada. I'm not in Canada. I'm in the UK. Oh, Ashley, that now explains it. Okay. Sorry, I didn't know you were talking about that on the chat thing. I was like, so Ashley's in Canada. Fantastic. We've ascertained that. Great country. Fantastic. Okay, so on to a bit of a blowout there from somebody who's wearing a Go Sasha earrings. It's the morning for me, afternoon for you guys. It is morning for you, depending on what part of Canada you are in, Ashley. Depends on how early in the morning it is. Great serve down the tee there from Sasha. Advantage to the big German. Not to make him sound like a centre back. (10-9). Okay, so you're Eastern Coast there. Great on the tee. Back though to his feet. Forehand exchange, just literally hitting it to each other as smooth as possible. Oh, bit of a cop out there, drop shot. But Sinner gets to it and goes back down the other line, and we're to juice. Scoreboard doesn't know what it's doing. There's that weird ad there. Yep. It's a good Premier League football day today. There's lots of matches taking place. 5 matches of the poor serve there by Zverev, and Sinner has a break point. What should have been a Zverev hold quite straightforwardly is altered really here. Attempt to serve down the tee, no luck. Real opportunity here for Sinner. Backhand by Sinner, backhand by Zverev, backhand by Sinner. Cross court by Zverev, cross court by Sinner, up the line by Zverev, backhand by Sinner. We've got a bit of exchange taking place here. Just gets to it. Great return though by Zverev, though just keeps the point in neutral. He's hanging on for his life. Oh, drop shot attempt there. Zverev just about gets to it, pushes it back. Cross court though by Sinner, and he gets the break. He is gesturing to the crowd to give him some support. What an attempt there. This could, as has been said in the chat bit there, this could be a turning point. This could be a big turning point. Sinner speaks good German too. Wonder who the crowd's with. That's what I'm thinking in terms of you got Sinner, who is born in the mountains near Austria. It's in one of those near those border towns between Italy and Austria. And then you got, of course, then you got the German-speaking German-speaking Zverev as well, who usually gets good support in Austria. It's be a very split crowd. Backhand to backhand exchange. Forehand up the line by Zverev. Just go slightly long though. 15 love. Agree, Ashley. Yes, Jannik should win. Sasha is too predictable, unfortunately. Sport and Politics saying agree, Ashley. I voted Jannik in the poll. At the moment, Sinner is on the charge to try and go 3 love up. Already 30 love up. Down the tee by Sinner. 40 love. He is on the charge. He is 40 love at the moment. Sinner is locked and loaded. It's as though the shackles have been released. He's got that break and he is free to hit how he likes. Fournier goes cross court, backhand by Zverev, backhand by Sinner, forehand by Zverev into the net, and it is 3 love. And all of a sudden, all the momentum, which felt as though it was still just about with the German coming into the beginning of the second set, has switched, done a complete 180, and is now fully with the Italian, who already has the same number of games as he did in the entirety of the first set. Is this the match, or am I getting too carried away? Tony Liddell highlighted Zverev's too passive. Is that the match, or am I getting too carried away with? I don't know, really. Maybe. Anyone's wondering, there's a couple of contests I'm also keeping an eye on, as you probably expect. Fernley, Hackman, 2 games apiece at the moment, 2 holds. And then a W100 event taking place in Wrexham, Wales, has 2 British teenagers, 18-year-old Mimi Zhu against 16-year-old Mika Stojsavljevic, in a W100 final, which is pretty big for the fact that these two are certainly going to be seen as the 2 bright prospects, along with Hannah Klungman, you probably would expect at the top of the British tennis in the near future, fighting it out for the first ever W100 title. Whoever wins the first set wins the match in all bar one of their meetings. So under that record, you could say Zverev should win this. Manarino out of qualies. Yeah, he lost first round of qualies to Jannik Hackman, funny enough. So he got to the remember correctly, it was the round of 16 in Paris Masters last year. So it's going to be a chunk of points that Manarino is about to lose. Yeah, they didn't really have disappointing results for the Frenchmen. Generally, they only had 1 player that got themselves into the second qualifying round, and he lost today to Sebastian Korda. Great forehand from Sinner. Where was that W100? At Wrexham in North Wales, famed for Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney buying the football club. Yeah, it's the final there between and involving two British teenagers. Great forehand by Zverev. Oh, no, it wasn't a great forehand by Zverev. It actually went long. As we've got a bit of the Fernie thing pop up on the board. Currently, Fernie doing his best. At the moment, Kovacevic is 4-1 up, looking all right in his contest against Zuma to potentially to win his qualifying round. Down the tee, up the line by Sinner, just hits the line, so doesn't get any real luck there. Okay, ball in the air, goes down the tools, just dribbles off the tee, that one. I think John's out trying to find this final on the ITF website. Zhu beat Tan. She did quite comfortably. It was an incredibly impressive performance by Zhu to beat Harmony Tan. Forehand by Sinner, backhand by Zverev, backhand by Sinner, backhand by Zverev. Cross court or just snatched at that slightly. Yeah, they just started there. You've got the two players on the board. Zhu already a breakdown. One of the joys of potentially free, if you're UK based and you want to catch that quickly whilst you're listening to us talk about Sinner Zverev, it is on the BBC Sport website. Or the BBC Sport website has a free link to the live stream of that match. With actual semi-professional camera work as well, like multiple camera angles. It looks as though something you would see at other events. Sinner determined. Oh, goes for the dropper. Oh, does that land? Did that land in? Did that land in? It did land in. I must have clipped the right edge of the line on that one there. Sinner not letting Zverev off the hook at all here. How is Zverev serving in this set compared to the first set? It's looking somewhat similar. It just feels a bit at the moment that certainly on the baseline rallies is where things have changed. But in the first set, whenever it went long, it felt as though it was always Zverev who was able to be the main aggressor and to really get the mistakes out of the Sinner racket. It feels like he's done a 180 here. When we get to the long rallies, Sinner is the one in control. Great serve down the tee there by Zverev to get himself to advantage. But he is under the cosh a lot. Hand slightly long there by Zverev. Great serve by Zverev out wide there. Just gets himself on the board, sends the balls back down Jannik's side of the court and says, right, I'm now off and running and I'm going to try and hunt you down. And Sinner's probably like, no way, Jose. Speaking of, how's the start of the Premier League's going? Jan van Veen beat Ryan Joyce. Michael van Gerwen beat Daryl Gurney. Danny Nobbert is 6-3 up against Ricardo Petresco. It's good to know. She said so much is going on at the moment. Oh, Villa already 1-0 up against Man City. Get in. Right, okay, so... Oh, was that long? Was that long by Zverev? It was. Oh, it was a fingernail width long. Sinner looking all right. Sinner looking all right. He's looking really all right. 30 love already. He is on it. Nearly 40. It was the flow, the motion. It looks as though Sinner has been able to take control of this. Cross-court exchanges. Zverev just so passive. Oh, but a mistake from the Sinner racket there, but still 30-15 up. Oh, and Sinner just says, here's a serve out wide and take it. Third ace for Sinner of the match. Zverev has 7. You'd imagine if Zverev wants to win this, he's going to need a lot more than that. Down the tee, backhand by Zverev, backhand by Sinner, cross court. Zverev just about gets to it, but short in the court. Oh, but what a volley! What a volley by Zverev there on the half volley. Sinner 40-30. He's not going anywhere yet. Who has the best serve in men's tennis currently? Jannik, Noah, Zverev. I mean, I would say, yeah. Still big guns like Opelka in the conversation. You certainly would say like Giovanni Pesci Pericard. I mean, it depends on what type of serve. If you're looking at first serves when they're in, GMPs is the best on tour. I mean, the insight numbers show it. If you're looking for overalls, though, you'd say the ability that Sinner has to win high percentage second serve points and using the second serve as a basis of that does give him just give him that edge. But as Ashley's pointing out, Sasha needs to lock back in. He's locking back in a bit here. He's got it back to juice. Certainly look to lock back in. Just Sinner here working and trying to work his magic. Cross court up in the air by Zverev. Sinner comes forward, puts it away. Advantage Sinner. And some polite clapping from fans. This clench from Sinner. What do you think of Mute, James? He's entertaining to watch. You know, his style of game is different to the rest of the players that you usually see on tour, which I think is a real positive. It's good to have different styles. will admit some of his matches when you're actually there in person can be a bit boring. I will note. I remember watching being in the stands for his qualifying match at Monte Carlo, and his match against Goffin was just slightly a bit, although he can throw his racket around and that can be entertaining. The actual bit style of tennis is a bizarre one. It's tennis where it looks better on the TV than it does actually in person. Whereas there are some bits of tennis, Alcaraz, when you're able to watch him live, he is phenomenal to be able to watch live. And there are other players where watching them, you can watch them on TV and they're quite boring, but when you're actually in the stadium or on the court, it can actually be really entertaining to watch. Bizarrely, like one of my big takeaways for anyone really is that what I tend to find is that, and this is between what I've used from watching multiple matches from these multiple different, from the men's event and the women's event, and I know that John's gone away, so I'm probably going to wait until John's back before I'm going to give my great feeling on that one. Oh no, it is Sport and Politics who's asking this one, so I will actually say the sport. Is that I find that women's tennis is better to watch in person than it is to watch on the TV, and I find that men's tennis is better to watch on TV than it can be in person. That's my that's my weird take. That's my weird take. I just you find in the stadium the way that the women's tennis players can really move and shape the ball can be really quite entertaining. You get yourself involved in the surf fest in the men's game, it can be a bit dull to really even watch on the when you're actually in the stadium. So there you go. Just gets slightly on. Currently 4-1 Sinner, by the way. Ashley, you're saying, interesting take, James. I love both. Me too. But I actually watch more ladies' tennis rather than men's. That's good. And that's the thing is that you've all got sort of different people we would prefer to watch at different times. It's one of the beauties of our sport, certainly at the beginning stages of tournaments and mixed events and whatnot, is that you have that ability to choose what sort of matches you want to watch. I may find watching a match, as everyone knows, I'm a big Cameron Minori guy. If I can seek out one of his matches, I tend to do so because I find, his tennis can be quite infuriating at times because you can basically give away leads or give away easy mistakes. But it's such a different style, an entertaining style, and the passion that he has. For me, it's the sort of tennis I love watching that. But if he's on court 5 and there's some big match on centre court, I will choose to go to that court 5 to see him play because it's it's just a bit of a joy on that one. As Zverev here looking settled to hold quite comfortably. Looking settled to hold quite comfortably. And he does so. 4-2. Just sends the balls down the other end of the court and says, your turn, Sasha, your turn. If anyone's watching, because I'm wanting to know my Fernley update, he is currently looking as though he's going to go 5-3 up in the first set on Jannik Sinner. Come on, Jacob. Come on. Oh, hang on. Come on, Jacob. And Mimi Zhu is 3-1 up on Mika Stojadjevic in that Wrexham final. It is all kicking off. It is all happening. And of course, now, looking at the time, the Fonseca and Felix should be walking out onto their courts, on their respective courts as well. I'll say that it should be 5-3. Currently, Fernie's making a hash of trying to serve it out. So I'm going to put that away. Cross-court exchange just taking place between these two players at this stage. Up the line by Zverev, but it's into the middle of the tram lines. Currently 15-love to Sinner. 15-love to Sinner. Insight performance rating in set 2. Sinner is at a 9.5, whereas Zverev is at an 8.4, which most days would have been good enough to be winning this match. just shows the high quality that both these two are producing. But anyone who wants to see John, you know that it's going to be you're going to be hoping that Sinner can hold here. Done a great serve by Zverev. So Sinner straight down the tee. Zverev unable to get any more control on it, and it is love 30. Good 5-3. Come on, Jacob. Come on. Ball in the air by Sinner. Tries to go cross court, just hits it into the net. Backhand by Zverev, backhand by Sinner. Cross court exchange down the line. Grip it and rip it from Sinner. 40 love, looking very confident here to go 5-2 up. Looking very confident here to potentially go 5-2 up. Backhand by Sinner, backhand by Zverev, forehand by Sinner, just goes slightly long. Just goes slightly long, so 40-15. Ball in the air by Sinner, goes down the tee, backhand by Zverev, forehand cross court by Sinner, or down the line, sorry, goes for the smash, straight to Zverev, but still in the control at the moment, Sinner. Short ball from Zverev, and that is Sinner 5-2 in the lead. He is looking good. He is looking good at the moment. It is looking all right at the moment. Looking all right at the moment. You're a Sinner guy or girl. We'll keep getting John back, and John keeps on disappearing. So, will he hold it off from here? Will Sinner force a decider? Or does in terms of will he force a deciding set? Sean, you're in the chat. That's fantastic. Has Sinner's game improved much this year, or is it just sustaining the same level? It feels like it's partly maybe sustaining the same level, which is still good enough to win large-scale competitions. But I mean, Sinner will always probably point to certain things to show that he's improving in, 1% here, 1% there. Well, we'll say the battle of the teenagers that I've been keeping an eye on is looking relatively one-sided at the moment. Mimi Zhu currently 5-1 up on Mika Stojslavljevic, as Zverev is 30 love up on Sinner, at least looking to want to ask the question to Sinner. and have the ability to potentially serve first at the beginning of the third if he can't get the break. $40 love at the moment. Oh, and just go slightly long there, Zverev on that forehand. They'll be disappointed with that one. Yeah, they'll be disappointed on that one. Just go slightly long, Zverev. Second serve. Internet though there by Sinner, and it is 5-3. So Sinner will now serve for the second set. It's looking potentially similar to what we saw with the first set, where it may just be one break of serve needed to win the set, and with the high qualities that both these two can produce, that does make sense. Both of whom gave up early breaks, and their opponents have basically been able to hold on since then. Down the tee by Sinner, comes to the net, tries to put it away. Zverev just about reads it, but dinks it over from Sinner to make it 15 love. The question is going to be: Are we 3 points away from potentially John joining the stream? Backhand by Zverev, backhand by Zverev, backhand by Sinner, backhand by Zverev, backhand by Sinner. Oh, but into the net there. Sorry, my internet is so bad. So we are currently 30 love up. I think John's kind of agreeing with what I'm saying here. I don't think we've seen any substantial improvements or notable really improvements from Sinner this year comparative to say when that 20, the beginning of end of 23, beginning of 24. Cross court by Sinner, cross court, attempt to get up the line. And on the good news front, Jacob Fernley's took in the first set against Jannik Sinner, 6-4. Potentially could be joining Cameron Norrie as the Brits in Paris Masters action. It would be phenomenal for Fernley being unseeded in qualifying. Because there seems to be a real epic that's taking place on court 2 as well there, as I'm just seeing how Sinner's point goes here. Just looking to be in control, goes cross court again, and Zverev unable to do anything with that. 40-15. Yeah, I was saying because Kovacevic and Zuma, last time I checked, it was 4-1 Kovacevic. It's currently 6-5 Kovacevic, but is on serve. Potentially going to go to a third set tiebreaker in that match to decide who's going to get through to the next round. And Sinner sends it cross court. We are going the distance. 6. The first set was won by the Germans 6-3 with a very impressive performance, getting the break when he had the opportunity, and then pretty much roles reversed in the second set. Sinner wins it 6-3, taking his opportunity when it arose at the beginning of the second set. And it's been a match. It has been a match. The fans, the supporters in the stadium are having a contest. Certainly say Sinner is looking good to potentially pick up the title. You'd have him as favourite. I'll quickly run the thingy.
Thanks for tuning into this watch along. While there's a break in play, here's a reminder to hit the like button, subscribe and click that notification bell. Your support helps to keep the channel going. While we're here, you can now become a member to enjoy perks including badges for the live chat, but also bonus material such as interviews with top players from both ATP and WTA tours. The membership link is pinned in the live chat. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. So whether it be serves or volleys, forehands or backhands, serve bots or drop shots, we've got you covered, whether that be via our website, talking-tennis.com, where you can read features and interviews from our top writers. Or if you prefer us in audio form, you can subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Amazon or Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts from. Remember, we offer you wall-to-wall coverage via our regular watch-alongs, magazine shows such as Nick's WTA Weekly or Damien and Mario's ATP version. Plus, we deliver top content from people on the ground, actually at the tournaments, so you get even nearer to the action. So, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Okie dokie, as we're back to it, as we get a little update from Wales, where Mimi Zhu was 5-1 up, being pegged back to 5-3. Become a bit more of a contest over in Wales. Zverev here, serving. Serving well, and as I pointed out there, Jannik Happmann and Jacob Fernley, it is 6-4 to Fernley. Also, the other match on that court is going guns at the moment in terms of Zuma and Kovacevic absolutely fighting for their lives for their position in the main draw. Backhand by Sinner into the net. Zverev 30 love up. A few more people maybe potentially picking Zverev, or at least adding Zverev onto their potential lists. Just go slightly wide. Zverev will be determined here to hold on, to keep his, not to give up an early break, as we've seen how the first two sets of this match have gone. The person that gives up an early break tends to lose the set, and this will probably play on both players' minds. Certainly at the early stages of this contest. Zverev looking okay. 6-6 in the Zuma Kovacevic match. Zhu has set points to try and take the first set 6-3. down the tee there by Zverev, and it was a straightforward hold. Very straightforward hold there for the German. You do feel as though this is not the. I mean, you would certainly say Sinner is still the favourite at the beginning, but he has made it a contest. He has made it a contest. I mean, the ramifications certainly for Zverev if he wins this match could be quite big. He wins this match, it creates a little chink in the Sinner armor, or at least what seems like maybe the Sinner Alcaraz armor, that maybe there are players out there that when their level is, if they could bring a level, can beat these two. And that Zverev could be putting himself in contention as a potential dark horse pick. Well, I don't know you can call the third seed a dark horse, but certainly as an alternative pick to Sinner and Alcaraz for the Australian Open title. Yes, a long way away, but something people will consider and think about. You know, we watched how a strong back end to the season from Sinner in 23 really set the groundwork for what was that 24 season. Do you see Novak ever winning a slam again? I mean, there's still, I think if it was going to happen, it would be next year. And it would probably have to involve him not playing either Sinner or Alcaraz in any of those matches. They're the two permutations. Maybe Alcaraz at a hard court event, maybe. Certainly, who will win in Basel? I favour. It's a hard one. It's a 50-50. I would like to. I don't know what. I'd like. I'd like to see both win them. I think it's 50-50. I would say you maybe slightly favour the higher ranked player. Certainly, maybe favour the higher ranked player. Yeah, Jarl at the break before threatening to come back. Paul has Yao in the lead. So a lot of Yao Fonseca fans in the chat. Zverev looking okay here. Still Villa 1-0 against City, which could be a brilliant result for Villa if they did do that. Zuma 4-2 up in that tiebreaker against Kovacevic. Oh, Sinner though just puts that away 40-30. Bonzi pulls out of Paris. We've got an opening in the draw has popped up. He was due to play last against Kachanov, I believe, on the main day. And because the qualifiers haven't been placed, that opens up that as a potential slot. Yeah, Bonzi out, lucky loser in. Currently 40 all at the moment. Zverev is doing his best to hold on. Yes, and Zhu took the first set. Stojanovic seems to have at least recovered to some degree, though, at this stage. Serve out wide by Sinner, perfectly placed. Joel holds and is currently 3-love up in the first set. Backhand by Zverev, forehand by Sinner. Great backhand by Sinner, takes it to 1 game apiece. Really dramatic in the in that Zuma Kovacevic match. 5-all in the third set. Six-5 Zuma. Okay, 1 game apiece. Zverev with a serve. Forehand to forehand exchange. Oh, Sinner though able to run onto that one effectively. Love 15. Oh, slightly long there from Sinner. 15-all. Oh, slightly weird deflection there from Zverev. Sinner 15-30 at the moment. 15-30. As saying that Zverev needs to keep holding. If he wants to win his match, he needs to hold, and hold again. You'd favour Sinner to have the better opportunities to try and break. Down the tee, a forehand at the line, backhand by Zverev, forehand by Sinner, backhand by Zverev, forehand by Sinner, forehand by Zverev. Oh, into the net there by Sinner. A bit of a mistake. Oh, given up there. Looks like he's about to eat his hand in that frustration. Cross court, was that in? That looked potentially out. It was in. It was in by Zverev, who took a very tight angle on that one. 40-30, looking good to potentially hold here. Zverev here looking to try and hold to make it to 2-1. High ball. Reckless shot from Sinner, and Zverev holds. He holds on. It's 2-1. I certainly would like Foki to win the title sooner rather than later, and Basel would be a brilliant title for him to pick up. And the game in Paris has finished. Zuma winning 9-7 in the breaker against Kovacevic to get into the main draw. Kovacevic, though, may be open to all of those that lucky loser slot, depending on how other results go. And Fernley is a break up in the second, 2-1. Could the Brit join Basel? How's the score looking now? Currently 3-1 Fonseca. Foki looking dangerous. God, it's all occurring. It's all occurring. It's all happening at the moment. As I was saying, if Zverev wants to win this match, he will need to hold on. He will need to keep holding. I think we are in a stage of this contest where I think that the trend for the sets 1 and 2 will happen again. Whoever gives up a break will probably end up losing this match. I only see one break of serve in this now. Into the net. Right to the feet of Sinner. Cross court by Zverev. Bad bounce. Took it away there. Zverev was in that rally exchange as well. 30 love at the moment to Sinner. Backhand bad there from Sinner, looking okay. Ball in the air. Down the tee, backhand by Zverev, backhand by Sinner, backhand by Zverev, forehand by Sinner. Oh, he's looking strong at the moment. The aggression seems back from the German. The Sinner just doing all right at the moment, just using all the tricks. Burnley up a break in the second. He certainly is up a break in the second. Oh, but he's 15-30 down at the moment. Come on, Jacob. Don't give this away. Real chance here. Real chance. The flop. Forehand by Sinner. Forehand by Foe. Backhand into the net though there by Zverev. and it's 2 games apiece. 2 games apiece. So unlike the first couple of sets, where in the first couple of games, that's where the breaks have occurred. They're both held. Both held. I can hear you, John. How you doing?
Good. Yeah, my internet is so spotty. I'm going to leave my camera off, and hopefully, it'll survive for these last few games. So, what have I missed?
What have you missed? You've missed kind of clutchness being, or at least like taking your chances being the key theme. Both players have only got one break point each, and it's been the break points that have enabled them to effectively win the sets. Now, when it comes to the aggression from both players, I think as mentioned in the chat, Zverev was very good in the first set at being the main aggressor, being the main conductor. But that switched quite dramatically, I think, down to the fact that the early break at the beginning of the second for Sinner allowed him to take control. And at the moment, Zverev just seems to be able to find a little bit more of his aggression back, being the main conducting a lot more points. But Sinner isn't allowing him to sort of break free at any point. Hopefully that answers that.
By the way, I see that João Fonseca is up a break on Davidovich Fokina. I wonder if Fonseca winning this would eventually sort of put Davidovich Fokina out of the race. I don't think technically, but I think he'd probably have to win Paris, wouldn't he, or something crazy?
Yeah. I think the only way. I mean, I think he would still need to win Paris anyway if he wanted to, even if he won in Basel.
Okay.
Let me double check on that one, but I think he would just be too far out. Because Foki, if he wins Paris, will be on 2-7-5-5. Mazzetti's on 3-6-8-5. So.
I see. Wins, okay. But wait, what about Novak? Do we think he's playing?
Well, given
I think it's 50-50. I can't tell.
It's 50-50. But what I will say is that the ATP did put out a little little post on their social media early today, basically saying how the way in which Novak qualified for Turin, which to me suggests that
just
you
a second.
do that. Go on.
Yes, just I saw Jannik, so I had a little fall, but you think he's okay. Go on, carry on.
Yeah. Yeah, the ATP put out a post that was about how a little post of like little clips of how Novak qualified for Turin, which to me I suggest that I don't think they would do that if they weren't sure, or at least feel as though it was likely.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think he might. He's playing Athens, isn't he? So, Athens followed by Turin. I don't think it. Oh, has Zverev missed that backhand? I think he has.
Sinner's got 2 break. Sinner's got 2 break points there.
Yeah, I don't know where my stream is at compared to yours.
At the moment, Zverev's going, and Zverev has just made it 30-40.
Yeah, so you're slightly ahead. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. But no, like I said, I think.
Yeah, well, if Novak does.
If Novak doesn't, then it opens up the position where Felix is at the moment. Which
So what about Felix in the race? Let's just imagine Felix is going. Let's imagine Novak does play. What about Felix to Musetti? What's the gap there?
Felix to Musetti is 440 points.
Okay, so he just has to have a really good Paris, maybe to make the final, and hope Musetti goes out early.
Yeah.
Oh, but then of course there's that week that you mentioned with Metz and all the rest. So, it's not quite done and dusted after Paris, is it?
No, and Felix is on the entry list for Metz.
Yeah, but I guess if Musetti needed one win or something, then he might suddenly appear in one of these tournaments.
Metz or Athens would give him a wild card if he wanted one, or a late exemption. But they give him a late exemption that he could easily use. But yeah, it's a tricky one.
Who would you like to see there? Like, would you like to see Musetti there, or would you like to see Felix there? I just think Felix could do something, whereas I don't think Musetti is going to do anything.
It's a weird one because I feel like if we get Felix, we know what we're going to see, and we've already got Fritz and Zverev that play similar sorts of tennis. So kind of, we'll be seeing basically the same sorts of thing. But Felix is playing much better on indoor hard than Mazzetti. But Mazzetti did play really
it's all
well
about conditions. Look at Sinner, by the way. He's struggling a bit, isn't he?
It could bounce a little higher, which may help Mazzetti actually get more shape. As Zverev looks as though he's looking
look
good
at Sinner.
to maybe hold
Sinner's
now.
struggling a bit physically. Sinner's struggling a bit physically after some of these points.
He is just a tad. Got to be careful.
Yeah, I just don't listen. If this was outdoor clay, Musetti would be a contender for the title, but it's not. So,
but like I said, because of the altitude, it does make the ball bounce higher, which means that people, we've seen with the likes of Ruud, who has looked like a bit of a dog on at most indoor hardcourt surfaces, but then rocks up to Turin and plays and somehow can get to the final and semi-finals quite easily. Because of the shape that they get in those on that surface, that maybe Mazzetti could kind of follow a similar path.
Ooh, that's a terrible forehand there from Zverev. That was basically the game done. I mean, he puts them away in his sleep normally.
Oh, great serve out wide. That's been his bread and butter. What you're just about to see from Zverev, the serve out wide on the juice side. He's got so many free points.
I saw Fernley up a break. Still up a break, but it's 3-2. But it is with a break.
He's looking good. He's looking really good. At what I'm seeing on the scoreline.
João Fonseca close to 5-2.
And Zverev holds 3-2.
Important to recover from that missed forehand that I highlighted.
You were to say out of either of these two players who desperately cannot give away a break, otherwise the match is over, you would say Zverev is the one on that side at this stage.
Yeah.
If he wants to win this match, he has to hold.
Absolutely, but the only thing I would say in addition to that is just physically right now, Zverev is definitely looking the fresher of the two. Yeah. But we can see a change of ends and suddenly, Jannik is okay for the last half an hour. It might, in a way, do him some help, but it might also do him some harm, depending on how he feels. Just going to have a quick look at Zhao. Did he get to 5-2? Yes, he did. Is Focky going to lose another final? These finals are just one break, yeah. But these finals for Davidovich is going to start to stack up and become a real issue, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's still, it's only the first set, which is key to note.
Yeah.
So if it's 5-2 in the second, then we're like, yeah, okay.
I'm just thinking, is this his fourth final, maybe?
Because he got to the final, he got to one final, which was the Monte Carlo one in 22, and then there was no finals up until this year, where he had 3, where he lost the heartbreaker he lost the heartbreaker to, 2 heartbreakers, as you say. The first heartbreaker to Mimik Kecmanovic in Delray, and then the heartbreaker to De Minaur in Washington. Yeah,
that Washington one. Oh, I mean, I'm sure Delray was pretty bad too. I just didn't see it, but I watched the Washington one live, and and De Minaur is the worst opponent in the world to come up against if you're feeling it a bit as it gets towards the end of a match. You just need to tell Andy Murray from Paris a couple of years ago. I remember that.
God, yeah.
I think he was up a double break. Maybe Andy was in the third set, but yeah. You like this indoor season, right? In general,
I quite like it. I like it. I don't mind indoor tennis. I know people poo it and want to get rid of it, but I think it does bring in it feels like it can be the purest form of the sport almost, because you take away a lot of factors that can. Great lob there from Zverev.
If it's not too quick, like I remember Turin when it first came on the scene in 22 and maybe 23 as well, it was just so fast that there was just nothing happening. But I think Turin may have slowed down a bit over the years.
I remember, 2 years ago, it was like court pace index was like 45, and like it was a server's paradise. But but I remember last year I think it went down to like 38 or something, which it felt a bit slower. Like they did realise they made it a bit too quick. Because it was like, this isn't really fun to watch, to be honest. Just watch them always hold quite easily. We want a bit of variety. So I don't mind the indoor season.
It's just the beginning of winter as well. It's the beginning of winter. The clocks change, so I'm feeling a bit.
Back end of the year, so people get people like the big events are over, barring the tour finals, and want to move off from that.
I see Paris Bercy, looks wise, I think is trying to. Sorry, Paris. It's not Paris Bercy, is it? The Paris Masters, I should say.
Yeah. Paris de la Défense. Yeah.
Is that what it is? Is it? Okay. Yeah.
I think
so. It's changed.
Something else.
Yeah, but anyway, I think they've gone for the look of just keeping the same look, at least in terms of aesthetics. With the big screen up in the air, if you know what I mean, that sort of brick. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Plus, of course, the colours and everything else. So watching it, it might almost look the same. I'm sure there will be some differences with the conditions, as we touched on in the live chat earlier. Carlos seems to be quite happy with the slow speeds that appear to be there at the moment.
It's I guess that there was an argument they could have made within themselves for given that we're in a new venue, we could also go for a new style change. But after they may have gone, well, if we're making one major change this year, we might as well keep something consistent.
Yeah, but if you remember Turin, when Turin took it, and still really the same. I remember Turin in 22. Aesthetically, it was like, they're just copying London, and that's fine. They just went for the same look and fine.
Yeah, I don't mind that. Yeah, because that looks like the light blue outer to the dark blue inner, using all the different blue, the sort of like different blue colours.
And the stuff going on around the side of the stadium look the same. But by the way, Italy is kind of eating into a lot of these tennis events. Obviously, with Bologna now getting the Davis Cup, ATP Finals in Turin. You've got Rome, obviously, as a Masters 1000. It used to have a 250 in. Did it have one in Napoli maybe a couple of years ago?
They were like some temporary 1 year licenses because of the China tournaments having to be cancelled.
Okay. Yeah. I just remember. I think
there was one in Napoli which they had to import the boards from Florence the week prior because it was so terrible.
Yeah. And also that the other funny thing about that, I can't even remember who won it. But the other thing I remember about the Naples tournament is the TV stream wasn't working for a little while, so we just got to see the sea for about 15 minutes.
Yeah, I remember that. It was I couldn't believe they were trying to do an outdoor tournament in October. That was my biggest thing. I was like, even for the south of Italy, that's some risk that you're taking there.
Yeah, good comfy hold there for Jannik as they come back to the court and all the rest of it. So I'm saying physically.
But to give you an update, Fernie double break up now going to be serving for the match 5-2.
Oh wow!
In his match.
That's a slightly disappointing backhand miss there for Jannik.
It was Zverev just puts that down, goes for the lob, and it lands in. Lobs the big man again.
Yeah, he's liking the lob. Zhao is 2 points away from winning the first set. It's 5-2 deuce.
I was going quick on that one.
Yeah, pretty quick, yeah.
I'm hoping that one was going to be on a bit whilst I can catch that a bit later on.
I mean, you still might. But you might get a third set.
Foki could probably take the first. But it'd be big for Jowl if he could pick that up because of a lot of the sort of like
do you like Fonseca? Do you like his game? There seems to be like 50% of tennis fans kind of desperate for him to lose all the time, and when he does, seem to rejoice.
I like his game. I do like his game. I think he. What am I trying to say? I'm just on the camp of giving time. Like we don't need to see him rocking it all now. You know, he's about to potentially, on his first full season on the tour, certainly if he wins Basel, he's probably going to have a higher ranking, a higher world ranking than what Alcaraz did after his first full season on the tour.
Right.
And that,
Yeah.
you know, on the main tour, and that's great. And we've got people who think that because he's not winning 500s all the time or 250s and challenging at the thousands deep at the end, that he's some sort of flop already. And it's like, well, no, it's very rare that you find a talent that can do that straight from the get-go. It will take a year or two for him to get used to it. And there will be periods where he plays terribly, and there will be periods where he plays greatly.
Jannik is very much again struggling physically. We're seeing him touch his hamstring at the end of some of these rallies. He's going to go and have a changeover here. I wonder if he might get some attention. I mean, you'd have thought he would have had to speak to the umpire at some point, though, to get that. Is there going to be some communication? I mean, did they go off court at the end of either of the sets?
No, but they're both basically been going all the way through. Oh yeah, I can see what you mean.
Yeah.
That's not a good sign. That really isn't a good sign.
I'm just wondering if this was that's a photographer. I just saw somebody at the court, and I thought, okay, maybe it's going to be someone to give him medical attention, but certainly not with that camera. But I think if it was a different stage of the tournament and a different stage of the match, he might be. But with this situation, obviously 3-4, you know, anything can happen. He can have a really comfortable hold. Zverev has a meltdown and he's won the match.
He's just drunk some pickle juice.
Okay, it could be just cramp.
Maybe it's not.
Could be just cramp.
Maybe it is. It could be cramp. Actually, I think he may be suffering from a bit of cramp.
Yeah. So, which obviously you Zverev has just got to make sure he doesn't get distracted by this.
You can cramp at that part of your body where your hamstring is, and maybe that's what's happening. Is that it's such a physical match, such a high intensity match that he's starting to feel it a bit.
Yes, Zverev has just got to stay focused here because you could easily get distracted by it as well. And it does sort of come and go. I mean, it's not. I mean, do you remember when Carlos seized up in Paris in that semi-final against Novak a couple of years ago, French Open? You know, just couldn't move for about 5 minutes, and even the rest of the match wasn't moving very well. This has sort of come on a bit more slowly, and so it might not be as hampering as. And he's going to get new balls here as well, so that might help him get through this surface game. I mean, if he was a break up, he could just serve this out, you know, but obviously with it being on serve, it's a bit more tricky.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the first point there anyway.
Yeah, Fernley, double break, 2 points away from winning the match.
Well, he did. He's given both of them up. Okay, but he's got another break point now. Also, he got another
Zhao didn't take it on the Davidovich-Fokina serve, and now serving for the first set is at deuce. So not done by any stretch of the imagination that set yet.
Yao, Foki, can you extend your match, please? That'd be fantastic. 3-hour epic. Give me enough time to catch a bit of that.
I think you'll catch some of it. I just don't know to what extent.
Yeah. And Fernley is the next player into the main draw, beating Jannik Sinner. 6-4, 6-2.
There you go. I'm not sure how many qualifiers have got to be settled now. Who's Fernley going to play first round, by the way? Oh, we don't know yet because the qualifiers haven't been placed.
No, we've got one more match. So it's Echeverry, Gasper de Jong is the last qualifying match that they've just got to do.
Okay.
So we probably won't find out until, say 6 o'clock tonight, UK time?
Fonseca has a set point. The WTA finals draw, I think, is on Thursday.
Is it?
For those who, yeah, I think so. It's either Wednesday or Thursday, but I think it's Thursday.
Oh, good, yeah, because we've got the line at 7 of that. It should be interesting, actually. Well, there's a bit of a question mark if Keys plays because I know she hasn't played in a while.
But she's still set to play, right?
She's still down on the list. She hasn't said anything yet, but I think what was it? The US tournaments was the last time she played? Yeah.
Yeah. Jannik has held to love, by the way, so that's good news. Although again on the again, he wasn't looking great during that service game, but he does hold to love. The other thing is that João Fonseca has won the first set 6-3.
Okay.
So Zverev here serving. What's that forehand from Zverev? Wow. Love 15.
Yeah, wow. We're in the stage. We're in the real business end of this third set. Oh, that goes slightly long from Sinner.
Yeah, that was a chance for Jannik. He was kind of in that rally. But yeah, just goes long with that backhand down the middle of the court. I saw Arsenal at 1-0 at half time.
Good Arsenal at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, with all these other teams losing around them as well. If they did get the win today, it'd be a very good weekend for them.
Yeah, Villa are still 1-0 up against City.
Okay, good. That's something.
They're all around about the 65th minute.
Okay, Zverev gets to 30-15 here after being love 15 down.
And on my one, he's just gone to 40-15. He's a lot of short balls, a lot of good first serves from Zverev, short balls from Sinner that Zverev is just basically running onto.
I think Zverev's winning this now. I think he is, just because of the physical side of it as well.
I think you could be right. I think he could be on for here, and it would be a big result if he could do that.
Yeah. Do you think it's kind of good for the tour a little bit? The other players around, the players sort of ranked 3 to 10 in the world will start to think, we can beat Jannik sometimes.
Yeah, I think there does need to be some chinks in the armor shown. There has to be some players have to start seeing that it is doable to beat. Certain Alcaraz. I think there may be slight chinks, but they know that if he's on a good day, there's nothing they can do. But it's with the Sinner one where it'll feel the most depressing in terms of. Well, Zverev's just having to go at his team now. But it is the Sinner one where it just feels as though there is no ability to beat him unless your name's Carlos Alcaraz. Yes, there's 2 players that he has lost to that aren't Alcaraz this year, but one was an absolutely inspired Bublik in Haller, and the other one was because Sinner could barely walk.
Yeah, that was the one a couple of weeks ago in Asia, wasn't it, in Shanghai?
Yeah, against Talon.
Yeah, Greece score, yeah. Yeah, Haller, the one to Bublik, I mean, that was obviously after he'd had that crushing loss in the French Open final. I thought that there could be a little mini hangover from Paris, and there was. As it turned out, it was a very mini one, because by Wimbledon he was fine. Of course, went on to take the title there. But I think there might have been a mini hangover. Plus, Bublik on his day on grass, can probably beat anyone, as he proved in that match against Jannik. But Bublik on other surfaces is less of a threat to Jannik. And in fact, they've played quite a bit this year, haven't they, on the different surfaces? And it's grass where he got his win. The French Open was a real damn split between those two. I thought it was going to be a competitive match, but Jannik won so easily.
Yeah, it was one of those things. We're looking at the score and whatnot. You kind of go, did you really then have to beat Draper in the 4th round? Because the Draper Sinner match would have been significantly more competitive than what that Bublik match ended up being.
Yeah.
And of course, there was there was a couple of other times, as you say, US Open, absolute drub in there, and then quite straightforward win earlier in this tournament as well. It was almost as though Sinner's, took in that loss quite personally and gone, right, I'm going to absolutely demolish you every time I play you now.
The one here was 6-4, 6-4, wasn't it, I think?
Yeah, quite a routine. Certainly against Bublik, who with the serve he has, especially in indoor conditions, that was quite a routine win.
Yeah. Well, João was threatening the back. He was at 15-40. It's now gone to 30-40, by the way. This is obviously over in Basel. So just thinking about in terms of the longevity of this match. I mean, if if Zhao was to run away with his second set and we get a tie break in Vienna, then you might be out of luck in terms of getting to see 2 matches today.
I probably am going to be out of luck. Well, it's a good job.
Well, we'll see. I mean, yeah. So is that in Mexico? Is it?
Yeah, Mexico City.
Yeah. Is that new to the calendar? I don't know. I mean, I don't follow.
It's been the circuit one they've got at the moment. They've been on the calendar now, I think, for the last sort of like 6, 7, 8 years. But it replaced. But
and Zhao's got the break. Zhao is up. Zhao is up a set and a break. Now Jannik's looking a little comfortable on the serve here. So.
Oh, great serve there from Sinner. Carrot boys are in the stands.
Oh, are they?
Even though they don't actually look like the proper. They don't look like the original Karate boys. I think it's just people who bought Karate boys.
Yeah, because I haven't seen much of them. The last couple of years. Well, the last year, I would say, actually. Yeah, they're not the original ones, I think.
I think their works have told them, come on, lads, you've got to start working for us now. You can't gallivant across the world supporting the guy who's not paying you.
So Jannik does indeed get the hole to 15. Good serve there.
He's stretching himself out. 5 games apiece. It's going to hurt for whoever loses this one now.
Yeah. Well, Zverev in terms of titles this year, I'm just trying to. He won. Did he win one on grass? No.
He won the 500 event, 500 in clay on Munich.
Ah, yeah, of course. Yeah.
That's his only title.
I thought he won I thought he won one in Germany, and I was thinking of Stuttgart, but I think that might be Taylor Fritz actually. Yeah, Taylor Fritz beat him in the final actually.
Yeah, he's had a couple of other finals, barring the win in Munich. Stuttgart one and Australian Open being the other.
Yeah.
Barring that, though, he hasn't really.
It's been, it's unbelievable. He's still world number 3. I mean, it just goes to show the gap between the top 2 and the rest, really, that everyone else is just not catching up with Zverev in terms of that gap. Yeah, it's been by his very high standards. I mean, I wonder whether it's been his worst year. I mean, obviously making a slam final means, he's repeated what he's done in the past, but certainly in terms of expectations, he's actually said himself how disappointed he was with the gap between him and Jannik in Australia. And then he's not really been a big threat since. I mean, yes, he won that Munich title, but I think the field wasn't the strongest. I think he beat Shelton in the final, if memory serves.
And that's a Ben Shelton who's his first proper year on clay, or first proper year being a serious player on clay.
Taylor Fritz has just owned him, which has been the case, I know, for a long time now, but he's continued it this year. And Taylor Fritz is world number 4, so that's the next guy. Taylor could do something in Turin, maybe, but Taylor's problem will be depending on how fit Jannik is.
Certainly could. I mean, it was a bit of a shock his early exit that Taylor had in Basel.
Yeah.
But then probably would put down to the fact that he has played a lot of tennis. Was playing the Saudi Six Kings.
Yeah.
Last week. And it's a bit of a half chance now for Sinner. Currently 15-30 up on the Zverev serve.
Indeed, indeed. Yeah, this could be the moment. You see, when you're physically struggling, I guess you can just be a bit more aggressive, go big on the return, and see where you get to.
Oh, great serve!
I mean, for those of you that aren't, for those that are not watching, he's still, moving okay, but it's just at the end of the points when he's sort of pulling up. Yeah, that was a good serve, but Jannik might be a bit disappointed with the return going in the net like that.
Short ball goes for the smash. Just clipped off the net there from Zverev. 40-30.
Lucky boy.
Lucky man. Goes out wide. Oh, bit of a. Oh, into the net though by Zverev. He'll be disappointed with that one. Oh, and we lost John. John should hopefully come back soon. Yeah, John will be back shortly. Backhand to backhand exchange between the both. Forehand by Sinner, backhand by Zverev, forehand by Sinner, backhand by Zverev, backhand to backhand. Zverev's doing all he can to stick in this. Slices it back onto the baseline. Backhand by Zverev, backhand by Sinner. Up the line, brilliant up the line play from Sinner. Gives him break point. He is on the move. He is on the move. Okay, break point, Sinner. Break point. Oh, someone just caught him out there. Someone just caught him out. Ball in the air, goes down the tee, gets it into the net. Second serve. Ever an opportunity for Sinner has occurred. This is it. Goes in the middle of the box. Backhand by Sinner. Backhand by Zverev. Backhand by Sinner. Backhand exchange cross court at the moment between the two players. Anyone going to blink? Anyone going to try anything? Down the line by Zverev. Just gets him in control of the point, but the back to neutral on the forehands now. Backhand by Sinner, backhand by Zverev. Goes long, and Jannik Sinner has the break. He is 6-5 in to the lead. And after 2 hours and 24 minutes, he will go to the chair, he will sit down and think about how he's going to come out to serve for the contest. Wowzers. Little piggy, let me in. And it's unfortunate Zverev had game points in that contest to go 6-5. He's going to have to regroup. And he's going to have to do something he's not done since the beginning of the first set, which is break Jannik. His family are Pleased with that one. He's showing fight, he's showing grit, he's showing determination, Jannik Sinner here. Could the blows to the tour become even greater? Okay, Jannik Sinner coming out. The crowd are on their feet. They actually lit up the entire stands at one point to see who's there. Okay, first point. Goes out wide. Sinner gets to it. It's just out. So it's love 15 love. 15 love. Just went slightly one. First point to Sinner. So 3 points away. Little dink. Sinner 2 points away. Two points away here, Jannik Sinner. Down the tee, light ball, swatted away by Sinner. 1 point away for his 4th title of the year. Beat in the world number 3 and pretty epic contest. Has to go down potentially as one of the matches of the year. Bet on the best of 3 set front. It's been a good contest. Zverev has matched him at large points, but just at crucial moments in the last 2 sets, Sinner has just got what he needs to do: 3 championship points. Could be a 2-time winner of this tournament. And Sinner wins it. Backhand goes into net from Zverev. That wins the title for Jannik Sinner, becoming the first multiple-time champion of this tournament since Andy Murray in 2016 won this title on the third occasion. Bit of a homecoming tournament-ish for Sinner. He lives, he's originally from a part of Italy that's very close to Austria, and he's a bit of an adopted son. And he walks away with the 2025 title in incredibly impressive format here. Coming from a set down against an incredibly tough player, certainly to beat and to work. I hope you've all enjoyed our little stream here as we've gone through this. John just ducking in whenever his internet can work or can't work on that one there, and we will bring it to an end. Thank you so much for joining, and please do we'll have the ATP Weekly coming up. That'll go over events this week, and Paris and how this could affect the Tour finals, which is the next big thing popping up. So please do join us then. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching, and goodbye.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.